Hey, so I was just getting some work done the other day, and I was wearing the Moto 360 that day, and I got a quick email notification, didn't respond to it, didn't even have to take out my phone, and I thought, yeah, that's neat. But then I realized I haven't reviewed this yet. So let's do that real quick. This is the new Moto 360. I don't know what it is about this 360, but I keep coming back to it as my sort of de facto smartwatch. Obviously, the competition has gotten way better since the first one, but I still give it credit for sort of starting the circular revolution we see today and the focus on design. Anyway, this 2015 Moto 360 is a really minor upgrade from the original in pretty much every way, so it'll look familiar. Here is everything that's new. Number one, the design. Okay, not really, it's pretty much the same design, but you do get a couple improvements here and there. The lugs that connect the watch to the bands are, for one, much easier to remove quickly. So interchangeable bands are much easier now. I have the leather one that it came with, but you can see just by removing both of them, it'll be easy to change to whatever other ones you buy. And I now have some texture in the bezel of mine here, you can see, which is because I chose that in Moto Maker. This is actually the best new feature of the smartwatch compared to the competition, the ability to build your own with any combination of the band and body colors and bezels built to order right out the box, so you can build a pretty dope combo to your liking. I went with a pretty clean all black look, as you can see, pretty toned down, but that's my choice, and I actually think having a black bezel sort of blends in with the display more, and with the black watch face, that also kind of hides the bar at the bottom, which still holds the ambient light sensor and display drivers. You pretty much get used to it being there. Alright, number two new thing is the specs. One of the biggest concerns with the first Moto 360, if you remember, was the slower, outdated OMAP chip they gave it. So this new one is now rocking literally a quad-core Snapdragon 400, new GPU, and half a gig of RAM. So that concern is pretty much wiped, and performance is consistently I've seen in any smartwatch though. I'd still give that edge to stuff like the Apple Watch and even Samsung's Gear S2, just as far as pure smoothness of graphics goes, but among Android Wear smartwatches, this is pretty much as good as it gets. Now here's an interesting thing, the ambient mode that leaves the display on and dim forever is turned on by default when you get the new 360, which you would think with a small battery on a smartwatch and an LCD display, not an OLED like the Huawei watch, you'd think that would kill the battery life, but it has easily made it through a full day for me, usually with more than 30% left with ambient mode on. So if you turn ambient mode off and let the display fully sleep in between waking it, this thing can go full 2 days between charges, which is a nice improvement. And the best part is, since it's a small battery, if you ever find yourself low on a charge, the wireless charging is really fast, so you can juice up in under an hour from being dead. So yeah, I just left ambient mode on. The only weird thing I noticed is some watch faces overlapped with notification text while it's ambient, but that never mattered because when I light it up and look at it, everything snaps into place and into color. This is definitely a better experience than the first Moto 360. It even actually works with the iPhone now, despite, much more limited control over how notifications work on iOS. Technically though, that also makes it a competitor to the Apple Watch for some buyers. Bottom line though, I'm less of a smartwatch guy than I was about a year ago. I don't wear one every day anymore, but it's nice to see improvements in these neat little pocket computers that you can put on your wrist, especially in design. You might be asking if it's worth upgrading over the old one. I would say yes, even if only for that improved battery and performance, but the competition has gotten a lot better too, so look out for a roundup video of the best wearables that you can get this year. Either way, thank you for watching this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.